Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We see we got people joining. I'll give everyone a minute to get their audio connected. This is going to be a fun, interactive session. If you feel so inclined, you can turn your video on. That will make it a little bit easier to participate. If not, that's also fine, but we will get started in just 1 second. All right, perfect. So hello, everyone, and thank you for joining this live and interactive table topic session. This is an extension of the Speaking with Confidence presentation. Table Topics, for those of you who are not aware, is a Toastmasters activity done at every Toastmasters meeting to get members and guests comfortable with being asked to speak to a topic with little to no preparation, which is what we'll do today. Surprise! Those who wish to participate will either raise your hand on camera or use the raise hand feature in the participant area. So if you want to see what that looks like, just click on participants and you should see the raise hand feature there. And then, so those who will raise your hand when selected, please choose a number from 1 to 8. And then once you've chosen your number, I will read a question and you will have 1 to 2 minutes to answer it. You must speak for at least 1 minute. I will be timing you. This is going to be fun. At the 1 minute mark, I will show you this green pen, just to let you know where you are. At 1.5 minutes, you'll see this yellow highlighter. And at 2 minutes, which is the maximum time for table topics, you'll see this red pen. So no pressure. There are no prizes. Sounds like someone's, okay, there we go. There's no pressure. There are no prizes to win, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to give it a try. So without further delay, do I have my first volunteer? You can either raise your hand in using the raise hand feature or come on video and raise your hand. Or I can choose someone. It's really up to you guys. This is an interactive session. It's meant to be fun. Again, no pressure. Okay, Susan, perfect. Susan, so if you could come off of mute, that would be amazing. How are you today, Susan?
I'm fantastic. Looking forward to this challenge.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Please choose a number from 1 to 8.
5.
5, perfect. Okay. Your question. If you could pass along a piece of advice to the next generation of leaders, what would it be?
Okay, if I could pass on one piece of advice to the next generation of leaders, what would that be?
Yep.
Awesome. So I get to start now?
Yeah, you let me know whenever you're ready.
All right. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
One of the biggest challenges we have in life is trying to be perfect. Now, here's the thing that I've learned over time. There is no such thing as perfection. So you're going to try to be the best leader that you can be, try to be like the other leaders whom you've seen before, but hey, you need to figure out what works for you. So forget perfection. Immediately accept that you're not going to be amazing the first time you lead a team or you lead a group. Accept the fact that you're going to need to learn a lot as you go along. Accept the fact that you're going to have to ask for help along the way. So here's my piece of advice to you. Forget perfection and embrace excellence. Now, what do I mean by excellence? Excellence means do the best you can with what you have today, here, and now. Excellence means that you perfect your leadership as you go along. And I use perfect just as an English word, not that we're pursuing perfection. Remember, it's about excellence. So, what do you have in your hand today? Do you know a little bit about people? Then you have something that you can start with today. Do you know a little bit about processes and systems? Then you can start today. Do you know a little bit about how people think, a little bit about psychology? Do you know something about your topic? Do you know something about the work you do? That's all you need to be an amazing leader. So here you go. Embrace, embrace excellence, forget perfection, and start with what you have today. You can totally do this, and don't overthink it, because you might think, I'm too young, I'm too quiet, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too the other. But here's the thing, we all have to start from somewhere. So why don't you start with what you have today? Forget perfection, embrace excellence, and be the best leader you can be today. I'm done.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Susan. That was a great way to kick off our table topic session. That's advice that I'll even take, and things that I'll have to remember, even as someone who's been around for a while. So thank you for being brave and stepping up and being our first participant. Up
Thank you.
next, oh, thank you. Next, it looks like we've got Likan, if I am pronouncing that correctly. If you can unmute your mic and let me know how to properly pronounce your name.
It's Lecon.
Likan?
Lecon. Yes, better. Anyone works.
Perfect. Thank you. So thank you so much for being our next table topics participant. Please select a number between 1 and 8. 5 has already been chosen.
7.
7. This is a good one. Okay. So your question is, what has been the worst piece of advice you have received as a young professional?
Wow. Worst piece of advice. Okay. Can I start now?
Yep.
Okay. So the worst piece of advice I've received as a professional is starting from my undergraduate days. I was told to focus on a first class degree in school and probably ignoring every other social aspect of it. So getting to run in a political organization, getting to engage in more sporting activities, getting to have the full scope of being in a university, as it were. And even coming out of the university, we were largely underdeveloped. So we're basically focusing on philosophy papers, analyzing them. We were not out of the world. We're not advised. We were advised to focus on our books while some of our mates were getting internship at Morgan Chase, at JP Morgan, United Nations, even in their undergraduate days. So when we finished university, we came out to it totally unprepared, totally clueless, and we had to literally just go as it. So whatever we saw, we just accepted it as it came. Like that, it was terrific. It was scary. As in, I had to literally take everything into my hands. So I had to start looking for professional courses by myself. As a graduate, going for internships, it was really terrible. But it turned out great. I'm a PMP holder now. I work with financial institution. I'm striving to work with the United Nations and all that. But the most important thing, the advice I would give now, let's hope it's not the wrong advice, is focus on what is really, really important to your passion, what you are really passionate about. There are many chit chats, many all around, but listen to yourself first. Every other voices should be an advisory voice, not a determinant voice. An advisory voice, I could, but listen to yourself first. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We always get that advice that, I think it's always well-intentioned, but then at the end of the day, I once heard someone say advice is just that, you take it at face value and you apply what works for you. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, next we've got Ndongu. I see that you have raised your hand, and if you could come off of mute, please let me know if I've pronounced your name incorrectly. Let me know how to pronounce it correctly, and then choose a number.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's Ondungu.
Ondungu, okay. Wonderful,
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, question number 1.
Question number 1, we're going right to the top, perfect. Okay, your question is, if you could manage any type of project in the world, what would it be and why?
Okay, it will be a computer networking management project. Reason be that I have interest in computer networking, And then it is very good for you to have, when managing a project, it's good for you to have the business idea of the project you are managing. You don't just go into managing a particular project. You can't just go start managing a project. You don't have a business idea. You end up going into the wrong. You end up getting a result that you do not desire. So I I'm someone that have interest in computer networking, and I've started a career in that aspect as well as project management. So these are the two that will combine together. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've got time for, it looks like, one more before it's time for your next session. So looks like, Michael, you raised your hand to go next. Michael, if you're still here, if you could come off mute.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, how are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing great.
Perfect. If you could choose a number between 1 and 8, the numbers 1, 5, and 7 have already been selected.
Number 3.
Number 3. All right, this is going to be a good one. You gotta really bring your A game with this one, Michael. If you
Okay.
had to introduce yourself as if you were a world-renowned speaker as part of a job interview, what would you say?
Hmm. Wow. 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 A world-renowned speaker at a job interview. Hmm. And that has always been my fear. Okay. Let me give it a try. Now, being a world speaker, being a renowned speaker, and being interviewed for a major role, I guess. Now, the way I'll view it is I have to tell my story. Before I got to be, I'm a kind of person that all along, all this while, I've been a shy person. I've been someone that doesn't love to talk, and I've always let people do the talking for me, even when they are misrepresenting me in some areas. But they got to a stage that I felt like people speaking for me can no longer identify what I really stand for. They are more or less mirroring their own ideal on me. And with that, I felt I need to find my voice. And finding my voice, I have to start looking. Who are those that have been in my shoe, that have gone through what I'm going through presently, and at the same time, in the present stage they are in their life, they've come out at the top, being an authority in their own regard. I now started to look at people around me. Then I heard about Tony Robinson. I heard about Dr. Sam Adeyemi. I heard about this man that trained Tony Robinson. I couldn't really remember his name. So I now realized that, okay, many of them had to search for their voice through books, listening to others speak on stage, and with that, they were able to tell their story and change their perspective from where they were to where they are now. And with that, I later got that I need to stand out. And with that, I've made a justifiable reason. And one of the things that really made the difference in me is that I chose these people as mentors, though at a distance. But gradually, I'm getting to get closer to them through their bundles in terms of the training program they held monthly. And with that, that has really helped me so far. And with this, I believe with my experience from where I'm coming from, where I am now, and the vision that I have for the future, I'm the best for the job at this moment to handle your case. Thank you.
Wonderful. That was a wonderful introduction to who you are and how to how people can interact with you and think about how they get along with you and communicate with you. It's wonderful.
Thank, thank you.
Thank you. So that is all the time that we had. We were very limited on time today, but I really appreciate each and every one of you for stepping in and participating in table topics today. This has been a wonderful conference so far. I hope you've been able to enjoy it. You've got a couple more sessions to go. So what I'll do is I'll let you get to those sessions. Thank you for joining the Table Topics interactive session today. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn if you'd like to connect, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.